It's about a guy named Light, who is a typical otaku who loves playing gacha games. You know, those games where you spend real money to get random items or characters. Yeah, those games. Light is addicted to them, and he spends all his savings and even borrows money from his friends to play them. He is obsessed with getting the rarest and strongest items and characters, but he always gets unlucky and ends up with trash. One day, I am invited by my friends to join a dungeon, where they can earn real money by clearing dungeons and selling the loot. I agreed, hoping to get some money to play more gacha games. I joined my friends. They have 9 races and different levels. Drago, a dragonoot, a half-dragon half-human, the leader of the party with level 512. Drago, that walks upright on 2 legs. Even though he had the outward appearance of a very scary dragon, he was actually a kind, intelligent, and dependable leader. Sasha, an elf of 308 level. Diablo, a demon of 419 level. Nano, a dwarf of 301 level. Boboro, a ghoul of 403 level. Centaur, a centaur of 152 level. Cheyenne, dark elf of 304 level. Guru, a beastman of 151 level. And our hero Light, a human with 15 level. They enter a dungeon that is supposed to be easy. However, they soon realize that the dungeon is actually a trap, and they are attacked by a horde of monsters. I try to fight back, but I am useless. I have no skill, no weapons, no armor, nothing. I am just a burden to my team. I am not able to save myself, I am too weak. My friends are fighting with monster, and at the same time saving Light from the monster. I have a knife which I do not know how to use. I have average strength and are weaker than any other races. After the fight, Sasha starts shouting on Light that I can die by 1 hit, and I should learn to save myself. She is always kind to me. They called me useless. They worried that losing a member would ruin their reputation. All races agreed to Sasha. I am sorry about being useless. They going to join a party and I am excited about this. They stay at a place for some time, so I start making tea for them as they like my tea. At moment they told to Light that they decided to kick out Light from party and from group. They do not need Light anymore. They think Light is dead weight, and they also ashamed of sharing space with a human because humans are weak and could not match with others' level. I am shocked with their decision. I never expected this kind of behavior from them. They act to let me in the party because they Light offer a better gift to the table. He has unlimited gacha. At the age of 10 it is very extremely small chance to get this kind of gift. I am lucky to get a gift. I hurriedly bowed my head in shame and blurted out an apology. I am so sorry, Mr. Drago. If you have a problem with me, I'll be sure to fix it right away. Just please, don't throw me out of the party. Heh. We ain't got no actual problem with ya, kid. We just don't need ya anymore. We really gotta spell it out for ya. Garu the Wolfman piped up. Honestly, I know you're an inferior race, but I can't stand how stupid you humans are. Sasha the elf chimed in. Is this lack of understanding the result of your own personal ignorance, or is it characteristic of the entire human race? As a researcher, my curiosity is positively piqued. Sion the dark elf mused. All 3 of them looked down on me with scorn as I apologized profusely, their words devastating me even more than Drago's declaration that I was being kicked out of the party. But in that moment, they all seemed like complete strangers to me, belittling me and leering at me as if I were some kind of nasty insect or a pitiful animal they were about to start hunting. This whole situation was shocking to me, and I felt like I'd been whacked around the head with a blunt object out of nowhere. I feel betrayed and ask why they told him the higher UPS suspected that I were a master with a mysterious gift, and that is why they brought him into gathering of races. But my gift is a trash and my status is just a human. They are laughing at me, insulting me. Come on, do we really need to spend all day talking about this? We don't need the kid, so let's just kill him already. We can't have another party waltzing in here and seeing us like this. That was Nano, a dwarf with a shaggy beard that was tied to a point. He was urging everyone to kill me, acting as if he were merely tossing out a tool he didn't need anymore. Nano had been the one who'd patiently taught me how to sharpen swords and keep armor maintained at the party's manor. Nano is right. I can barely stand breathing the same air as this inferior, so I would prefer it if we brought this to a conclusion soon. That was Diablo, a tall, lanky, young demon with pale skin and devil horns growing out of his head. He had been the one who taught me proper table manners and etiquette. Sure, he had a habit of muttering the occasional snide remark directed toward me. I turned my gaze once more to the party leader, Drago, and fully aware that my teeth were chattering, I spluttered another question. This is a joke, right, Mr. Drago? It's all an act, isn't it? A prank at my expense? After all, there's no reason for you to kill me, is there? Sure there is, Drago said without missing a beat. As it happens, we were told to kill you. Just to make sure. You're killing me just to make sure? I said, trembling. Make sure of what? I don't know what you're talking about. Light, you know that, unlike most other inferiors, you have a gift. Yeah? The unlimited gacha. But you all know it's a useless gift that only produces junk. All are agreed and beastmen come in front to kill me. He attacked on me with his sharp nails. I tried to escape, but I am not that fast. I duck from the first attack and smile. I still thinks it is a joke, they are playing with me. Suddenly I got the other attack. While trying to escape I fell down. Now it is clear to me that they are not joking, and it is real, they are trying to kill me. Our superiors initially suspected you were a master since you possessed this curious gift called the unlimited gacha, Drago explained. So we brought you into the party in order to observe your gift, your temperament, and your actions at close quarters. Unfortunately, your gift only brought forth rubbish, and your stats remain at the same level as your other inferiors. As such, it has been determined that you are not a master, and we were given orders from above to dispose of you. They wanted to eliminate any possibility of a calamity that may result from letting you wander around freely. I wasn't following even half of what he'd said. All I'd managed to glean from his explanation was that I wasn't a master, and I was going to be done away with, just to be on the safe side. Also, what was a master, anyway? My nation was disappointed he wasn't a master, but it was a huge weight off my shoulders, said Sasha. If Light had been a master, they would have ordered me to marry an inferior just so the bloodline would be theirs. Ugh, just thinking about it gives me goosebumps. Heh. I stand and start running, and suddenly an arrow hit me in the leg and passed through the thigh. And I fell to the ground, unable to run anymore. It was a really hard landing too, the jarring impact with the rock-littered floor of the cave-like dungeon drawing blood and turning the ground around me red. It was the arrow stuck in my leg that hurt the most, though. The beastmen come to me and kick me very hard. I am in a lot of pain and I still crouching to avoid them, but I am too slow. They are laughing on me and asking for their turn to beat me. They made a plan to tell the world that a monster attack on them, and one of their members has died, otherwise it looks suspicious. Indeed, Garu, Xian agreed, nodding along to the wolfman's sadistic remarks. He enjoys hearing the screams of the inferiors. He likes his experiments on me so much, I can't help applying even more pressure to them in response. I scream and pained expressions are especially delicious. I was crying and begging to them to let me live. But they had become monster, they are enjoying my pain. I am shouting. Why they want to kill me? What is this master thing? I am going to die without knowing anything, and no one will help me. I am dragging away from them and repeating. I do not want to die. I want to live. Though as I struggled desperately to get away, more bad luck befell me. As my outstretched right hand touched the ground, a huge curtain of light exploded from underneath it. Huh! Did he just trigger a teleportation trap? Don't let him get away! We have to kill him! In that instant, the sound of everybody's voices cut off abruptly, and for a moment, all I saw was blinding white light. Suddenly a teleportation trap is open and takes me somewhere and away from my enemies. The teleportation trap saved my life. I fell down and thanks to teleportation trap, but I am still in dungeon. I miss my family, my mother, father, and my sister. I want to go back to my village. I was trying to help my family by earning some money, but it did not go well. I trusted them, respected them, but they lied to me, humiliated me, laughed at me, and treated me just like trash. I am betrayed, and in anger, I decided not to die here. I should take revenge and return to my family. The guttural growl that cut me off told me that my bad luck had struck again. A monster appeared out of the shadows in front of me, perhaps drawn by all the noise I was making, or perhaps because it had caught a whiff of my blood. It was a huge creature, maybe 10 meters in length, and it walked on all fours. It had a tail that was thicker than my torso and that looked a lot like a snake, even down to having its own 2 eyes and a mouth. The snake tail rippled its way through the air toward me. The monster stared at me with keen, menacing eyes as drool oozed from its mouth. Even if this had been an ordinary predator, I would have been done for, but I was in for a real shock when I saw the monster's stats screen. What? Is this some kind of joke? This can't be real! I cried. Level 1000? A person or creature can voluntarily activate their stats screens for others to see, which meant, by displaying its stats to me just to rub in how outmatched I was, the monster wasn't just intimidating me physically, it was mentally tormenting me as well. I'd had it all wrong. I'd thought the teleportation trap had sent me back to somewhere near the entrance to the middle layer of the abyss, but it turned out that it had actually transported me to the deepest part of the abyss, a completely unexplored area that nobody in the world had set foot in. I assumed that had to be the case, because there was no way I'd be face to face with a level 1000 monster otherwise. I have to get out of here. But where do I go? I was a level 15 human, so there was absolutely zero way I was escaping from the bottommost levels of the abyss. There was nowhere I could run to escape from the monster. As if to confirm this, the creature let out another guttural growl and slowly advanced toward me, obviously fully aware of how hopeless my situation was. If the monster reached me, I'd probably suffer a fate worse than death on the wrong end of its carnivorous teeth. But I wasn't dead yet. I'm not going to die without finding out the truth, nor without seeing my family again, nor without getting revenge on the people who betrayed me. I screamed. The only thing I had was my God-given gift. I smashed the unlimited gacha button repeatedly and prayed feverishly for something that might help me out of this, as my gift was my one last hope for escaping this hopeless situation. I guess this is the last thing I'm ever going to see, I thought to myself. Just as I'd given up all hope, a glow bright enough to illuminate every corner of the deepest part of the abyss burst forth. I shall not take kindly to any creature who bares its fangs at my master, even if the creature in question is a mere pup. In the light, I could just about make out locks of raven hair fluttering. A moment later, the level 1000 monster was minus a head and the rest of its body had been sliced and diced, as if the creature had already been carved into chunks from the moment it had wandered onto the scene. The speaker, who didn't have a single speck of blood on her, stood between me and the dead monster. She had long, jet-black hair tied up into a ponytail and adorned with a long ribbon, and she was wearing a maid's outfit, like the kind you'd see worn by servants in upper-crust households. She was also wearing pristine white gloves and stockings, and even her shoes were spotless. She was somewhat taller than the average human woman, and long eyelashes framed her large, round eyes, while her rose-colored lips were accentuated by a nose with a straight bridge. All of her features were perfectly proportioned, and her skin was so pale it was nearly translucent. It was as if a divine power had put every last effort into creating an exquisite doll. Her statuesque face alone would have been more than enough to attract attention, yet she was also very well endowed, and the considerable chest area of her maid uniform billowed. No man would be able to resist trying to steal a glance at that bust. Yet her hips were so narrow, she looked like she might snap in half. Her limbs were long and slender and matched her stature perfectly. In short, she had a truly incredible physique. She turned to me, and her eyes trembled with pain as they landed on me. She then dropped to one knee, like a knight in the presence of a monarch. "Forgive me, master. I have taken it upon myself to heal your wounds. I was unable to endure the sight of those injuries to your precious skin and face. I hope you can pardon my presumptuousness. What? The pain. It's gone. I checked myself over and found that someone or something had pulled the arrow out of my leg. In fact, I wasn't wounded anywhere, and I wasn't in any pain. Master, may I ask to hear your name in your mellifluous voice? My name? I said. My name is Light. Master Light, Master Light, Master Light. What a remarkably distinguished name. The woman clasped her hands tightly over her chest while repeating my name. As is demanded by my honor as a maid, I shall live only to serve you, to devote myself to you, and I am prepared to die for you. She continued. On my honor as a maid, I swear absolute fealty to you, Master Light, and I pray that you will retain me. Yeah? I thank you immeasurably, Master Light. As a bird can never be without its wings, and a tree never without its branches, you shall never be without me by your side. The maid must have noticed my confusion at the situation, since she picked that moment to introduce herself. Forgive me for not introducing myself before. I am the super ultra rare card, level 9999, ever-seeking maid, May. A super ultra rare card? Level 9999? Correct, said May. I am a super ultra rare card that was brought forth by your gift, the unlimited gacha. As long as I am here, I promise that the hordes of monsters dwelling in this dungeon shall never lay a single claw on your lovely skin. Well, it had taken her less than a second to dispatch that level 1000 monster, a creature so terrifying it was almost mythical, so I was probably safe with her, but I was still having trouble believing what I was seeing. This is impossible. My unlimited gacha only ever produced junk items before. It's never given me someone as amazing as you, Miss May. I mean, first of all, are people even meant to come out on gacha pulls? Master Light, you need not call your maid Miss. You may simply call me by my given name, May. Before I was betrayed, it was natural for me to use Mr. or Miss whenever I was talking to other members of the party. I wasn't used to calling people by just their first names. Wait, I can't, I implore you. Her firm voice and sad-looking eyes made it impossible for me to deny her request. Okay, May. I thank you for accepting this humble request from your servant, said May. Your magnanimity befits you, Master Light, for you possess the magnitude of a ruler. And as such, your gift, the unlimited gacha, should not have produced any failures. If you will allow me, I would like to examine your gift using my appraisal. A appraisal? I replied. I mean May. You have the gift of appraisal? People with appraisal were able to assess the attributes of other people and items, and the higher the level of the one possessing this gift, the more that would be revealed to them. Among humans, appraisal was a highly sought-after gift since it guaranteed you work for life. More precisely, it is one of several skills I possess, said May. May I be allowed to appraise you, Master Light? Sure, go ahead. Then, if you will pardon me. Appraisal, May announced. Your attributes are concealed in such a way that no one below my power level could have determined them. You continue to amaze me, Master Light. I could hardly have imagined how much power you possess. Your gift, the unlimited gacha, grants you limitless access to gacha cards, she continued. The probability of receiving a certain card changes with the amount of mana. Rank from high to low, you can receive EX cards, super ultra rare cards, super rare cards, super rare cards, super rare cards, rare cards, normal cards, and errors. What does all that mean? This was definitely not something a poor little farm boy like me found easy to get his head around. May tried to fill in the blanks for me. When a sorcerer casts a spell, that magic uses the mana from the air around them. The unlimited gacha appears to produce cards by absorbing that very same mana. However, there is not much mana on the surface world, so the chances of your gift producing an SUR card like mine were infinitely close to zero. However, because there is much more mana in the lowest reaches of this dungeon, the chances of producing an SUR card increased dramatically. Okay, I think I get it, I replied, having not understood half of what she'd said. The bit I did get was it looked like my gift could produce cards as powerful as May on the bottom level of the abyss. "You are certainly astonishing, Master Light," May remarked. "You were unaware of the particulars of the unlimited gacha that I have since revealed using my appraisal, yet you knew enough about your ability to travel to the very bottom of the abyss and summon me regardless. You are indeed the perfect master for me to serve, and it is my honor as a maid to do so." May paused, then continued. "But do you not think it was somewhat reckless for you to journey to these depths alone, given your current status?" May asked. "From this day forward I will never leave your side, and I swear on my honor as a maid that you will never come to harm in such a manner again." I could only respond with silence. "Master Light, whatever is the matter?" "Oh no, it's not what you think, May. I didn't come to the abyss by myself. I went on to tell May the whole story of how I'd gotten my injuries and how I'd found myself at the bottommost level of the world's most notorious dungeon, but doing so made me recall how the companions I'd once trusted had betrayed me in such a horrible way, and I was unable to hold back the tears. Once I was done telling the tale, May embraced me tightly, and since she was taller than me, my face ended up being buried in her ample bosom. I'd been so focused on my feelings of despair that I didn't at any point consider that a beautiful woman like May might hug me and smush my face in between her breasts. My submerged face, as well as the rest of my body, turned beet red. No, I'm not saying I want to show them mercy. I just want to grow stronger and take revenge on them myself. I also want to find out why a nation would seek out and befriend a so-called master, only to turn around and try to kill him. I guess you don't think a human like me would be able to do any of that, do you, May? On the contrary. What you desire is what I desire, Master Light. If you wish to execute this act of vengeance on your own terms, then on my honor as a maid, I pledge to support you in that endeavor. However it comes to pass, it is my firm belief that you will succeed in having your revenge and uncovering the truth." "Thank you, May," I said after a pause. "I am humbled by your words," May replied. "I'd been betrayed by a group of friends I'd trusted, but on the upside, it had led to my unlimited gacha giving birth to May, a woman who swore her undying loyalty to me. My party's betrayal had angered me so much, it boiled my guts, and I'd felt so hurt by it, I'd wanted to die right there on the spot. But because I'd ended up in the bottommost level of the abyss, I'd met May, and now, That's all for today. Thanks for watching. If you like the story, please like, share, and subscribe.